Welcome. I'm Miss Jill, and this is In the Know. It's Thanksgiving week.
Yep.
Yes.
Thought you were gonna go somewhere behind it.
I mean,
Guess what else? Guess what else?
Thanksgiving
It
week.
just stopped.
Guess
up?
what else?
What?
Something else was special this week. So, I turned 45, and I just wanted to make that announcement.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
So, that was important. Next, huh?
Two?
Two.
I just want to know. I mean, are you gonna elaborate? You just giving shorts, and who was it important to?
Me, to my mother, to her.
Okay, say that.
If I wasn't here on this earth, if I wasn't birthed, she wouldn't be here tonight. We
Okay.
wouldn't be having this conversation.
All right.
So, thank
right.
you. Thank you, Bri.
Okay.
So anyway, it's Thanksgiving week. It's a short week. It's a short week for many of us, including us here. Tomorrow evening, we're going to have kind of our little Thanksgiving gathering for
Right,
the
right.
in-depth show. But tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the community, what has went on in the community. We're going to talk a little about Thanksgiving, our plans, and talk a little about some engagement on our Facebook post earlier. So we do have a guest with us. Welcome, Miss Bri. Hi, Bri.
What's happening?
Wait. Bree's not a guest. We're gonna welcome
She
her back.
is a guest
No.
tonight. Tonight, she's a guest.
She's back home. Bree, you let him know. Yeah, she's back home. She's back home.
So Bri's with us tonight to talk about an event that she was actually a speaker at, also to talk about an upcoming event that she is involved in. So first, before we get to that, there are some things that are going on. The Fort Wayne Rescue Mission every year has their Thanksgiving. Tomorrow is that meal. So it's actually the day before Thanksgiving at the Fort Wayne Rescue Mission. They said to give them a call if you want details on times or if you have any questions. Also, something that was interesting is how many turkeys do you think at the Fort Wayne Rescue Mission are involved in feeding at this dinner? Like, if you had to guess.
Last year was 230.
250 turkeys. That's a lot of turkeys.
Yeah. I know last year was 230.
I mean, if you think about that, so that's a lot of people. That's going to feed a lot of people. So,
Well, and that's one of the reasons they moved it to the day. Because unfortunately, we have a lot of people right now going through struggling times that don't have meals.
Yep.
They were getting rushed and overcrowded, and they were trying to seat people. I think now, because of post-COVID, and a lot of it is carry-out, but they're giving you food. I think it's only for the residents that's going to be able to eat there. But if you need a meal, I think a lot of it is carry-out because
Yes.
they don't have the capacity because of post-COVID to hold the people, and they don't want to, with COVID being on the rise, they don't want to expose people. So a lot of it is carry-out.
yeah, and we are at that point again, unfortunately, where, capacity and shelters being full. So, also, with that being said, the Gingerbread Festival. Have you ever been to that? Have you ever? Oh, you have to take.
When we've been in elementary school.
Oh wait, I have been.
Yeah.
I took my son.
I was going to say, you need to take your children
Gingerbread.
to the Gingerbread Festival. So what it is, it's at the, oh goodness,
Isn't that the embassy?
the,
No, that's the festival.
I'll post it. It's at like Fullinger. It's at one of those places.
Is that the United Arts Center?
But anyway, it's called the Gingerbread Festival, and you walk around, and there's all different kinds of gingerbread things, like massive houses, things that are just absolutely crazy, Christmas trees, like there's all kinds of cool stuff. I used to take my daughter when she was little.
But
Super detailed and intricate.
Yeah.
they're designed. But I want to ask, who really eats gingerbread other than building the houses? What purpose is there for gingerbread? Does anybody eat gingerbread?
Doesn't have glue in it. When I think of gingerbread, like it always had glue. No,
I'm talking
no,
about
it's made for glue.
You don't eat the gingerbread man? The little gingerbread man that be in the package?
The little gingerbread cookie man.
Yeah.
No, I've never.
I literally thought they had glue in them, like all of them.
I have.
Yeah. Okay. I was
Listen to how we
I was
said
there.
it.
Y'all sitting there like y'all never ate no
I've
gingerbread?
never eat cookie. Do you think if I had asked
Well, I forgot who. My bad. I apologize about that. I
He
apologize
said,
about that.
I've done it.
That's it.
that was it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
you have to
Y'all-
check
you know
it out.
something? Y'all need to expand y'all palates. It's pretty good.
Oh, it's got glue in
I'm
it.
gonna trust you.
You ain't got to get the. I forgot who I was talking. I forgot who I was about to argue with.
Got glue in it.
My bad.
The Festival of Trees, do they still have that?
Yes.
That is absolutely amazing.
That was
Also,
tonight.
okay,
They just
that
started that tonight.
It started tonight. I used to go every year because my daughter used to perform at the
Okay.
Festival of Trees. Always loved going to that. I mean, nice trees.
One year when I worked at the East Wayne Street Center, I was in a raffle and I actually won one of the trees.
Oh, wow.
And they delivered it. It was huge, but unfortunately, you know, it was a one-use tree because, like the gingerbread, they hot glued and had all the stuff on there. I mean, it was a beautiful tree, but it was a one-use tree, and some of the trees are very beautiful. I mean, it was a huge tree at that, and it was so beautiful. But unfortunately, it was a one-use tree.
Did it come with the stuff on it?
Yeah, it came with everything on it. It was fully decorated.
I didn't know they gave those away.
Yeah, I don't know. I just was we was in a raffle and I won one.
Yeah, super cool. I love that. Also, there's something coming up called Not Your Grandma's Lesson on the Change. This is actually called Period Pad Purpose. So that probably doesn't make sense until I tell you. This is about teenagers, cycles, girls. This is for girls ages 8 to 12. This is at the library downtown, Saturday, December 9th. So it is kind of a ways out, but not really. This is something also that would be good for dads, if you're raising a daughter and the mother, it's good for anyone. But either way, 8 to 12 is how old the daughter has to be, and have to be accompanied by a parent.
Right.
Register at Eventbrite.
Well, and a little bit more with that, Your Mental Health Matters is sponsoring this with ONV. That's our mental health segment here with ONV. And the thing is, cycles, if you are a woman or ever had a daughter, you raised a daughter, I had a daughter, I suggest men go because, man, that when it happens and you there by yourself, and I was teasing somebody, I think I was talking about going down aisle 9. I don't know if it's aisle 9 anymore.
Yeah, I went down aisle 9.
Aisle 9,
went down there proudly.
That trip down aisle 9 is just something different. But it's talking about, because think about it. I think they're saying that girls are experiencing their cycles at earlier ages now. So think about that as being a traumatic experience. Your body's changing. You don't know what's going on. So what they're doing is equipping parents and helping the young ladies understand that transition in their lives, what's going on. It'll be fearful, but you once you understand it, you'll get a grasp of it, and it helps them cope with it because
Yeah.
I think that's super important because it's like their most vulnerable time as young girls when that happens and all you feel is fear and you're not sure what to do.
Yeah.
And then what if mom's not home and you have to ask dad about sizes, tampons,
Right.
pads.
Whew.
All
to
of
like
that.
be able to be equipped with the knowledge and like what size she will need, how this process goes, how her hormones are gonna get affected, how emotional she's going to be, and actually being understanding and respectful of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fathers, I would tell you if you got to go to aisle 9, get the variety pack. You can't go wrong.
Then you're covered.
I was
You're covered.
fathers, especially young fathers, and you have these young ladies at this age. Please go. You get an understanding and help them understanding, and as Ms. Bri said, they'll understand the support and see that you're supporting them. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I mean, but at least help them and usher them through it. When they're going through this time, and it could be traumatic for some.
Grandmothers, a lot of grandmothers are raising their grandchildren, so it's good for them as a refresher. So interesting event. Tomorrow, there's another event actually put on by the original Black Panther Party, and we happen to have someone here who can speak a little bit on that. Can you tell us a little bit about the event tomorrow, what it is, and who's putting it on?
Yeah, so I'm the lieutenant officer with the original Black Panther Party of Fort Wayne chapter, and we are doing a winter pack giveaway. So we're basically doing a bunch of different winter clothing gear for children, whether it's hats, coats, gloves, all the things. We're going to be giving those away. So we're inviting families, parents with their children to come. The children must be present. That way we can be able to size them and give them the proper winter clothing that will fit them. And then also for families, we're going to be giving away turkeys. So we have a bunch of turkeys that we've purchased, and we'd like to give those away to the families as well so they can have them for Thanksgiving.
Where is this going to be held?
The Urban League
has
so graciously given us a venue to be able to do this so that they can come inside. Last year it was outside and it was freezing. We're not going to do that to you guys this year. You can come inside, get warm, get all of your winter gear and your turkeys, and then you can go be with your family.
So I have a question. Where when you have these events for the original Black Panther Party, where does the money come from? Because I saw you posted something the other day. Let's just be real and say what you said. So, and I've said it before as well. When you're holding these events, the money has to come from somewhere.
Right.
So when you reach out to the community who wanted you to have the events because they want, people to benefit from the events, but nobody comes forward to fund the event. You had said something about that. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I think it's so funny that you brought that up.
You knew
I was being a little,
But it's true. But I've said it before. We've all said that before about community support. So did you feel like you had, who did you go ask? Did you just put it on Facebook? What did you think about the support that you got?
Right. So I want to preface this by saying up to this point, we have never had a fundraiser. We never did a community fundraiser. Up to this point, every event that we've put our own, that we've hosted or done or been doing giveaways, we put our own money in there.
Yeah.
We have monthly dues that we pay. $25 a month each person.
Each member of the
each member as a part of being the organization, being a part of it, and that way we're able to have a pot to kind of pour into. That way we take that pot and then pour it back into the community. All of that's been coming out of our pockets. So this year, because of many different things that we're all going through personally, we had the idea that maybe we should reach out to the community for support and then be able to pour back into the community. So we created event pages. We posted on Facebook. I was messaging people directly. I was tagging people. I spoke to many people that I work with on their campaigns. I've spoke to politicians because I, worked on some campaigns, as you know, with the Young Dems. So I'm trying to reach out to my community that I've poured into, hoping that they'll pour back into me and my group so that we can pour into the community as a whole.
Right, right.
So at the fundraiser, we had a pretty good turnout. We had a lot of people that, donated food so that we could resell food at the fundraiser to be able to raise money. We were able to raise money with the admission to coming in. We did some raffle prizes and different giveaways. And so in that aspect, we were able to raise money and get donations, but we just didn't have as good of a turnout from the community coming in as we thought at the door. There was hundreds of interested goings and comments and shares, but when it came time to actually show up, many people didn't show up. So really, honestly, for the most part, we had our speakers, we had our vendors, we had our comedians and performers that were all there. We had some volunteers from the Black Excellence Organization of Indiana Tech that came in and helped run the door and run the food counter. But as far as public audience, there was really only a handful of those people that actually came.
And regardless of, the community support, the intent was beautiful.
Right.
So, there'll be another one. We can't ever, force people to support us. And I will say this. I don't know a lot about the original Black Panther Party other than just knowing what I know. I can tell you that they are out in the community all the time, for free. So I've seen them do leave cleanups. I've seen them do security at the concert. Was it... It was
all sorts of events.
Yes, I've seen them be present at protests, making sure that everything is okay. So, mind you, they are out here in the community doing things for your children, doing things for your neighborhood. Right, and even if you cannot financially support, share it. You never know who will see that and say, this is something that I can and want to support. So once again, community is very important.
I will say, though, after I made that post, that little post where I said, I basically, in a nutshell, I don't know it word for word, but I basically in a nutshell said, we have to do better as a community about pouring into those that are pouring into our community. And if we're pouring into our people, then you need to pour into us so that we can continue doing that and have a broader reach. So that was kind of my post. And after that, people did comment and was like, done, cash shopping, donations. And
that's good.
That's
good.
Well,
I got a question. If someone wanted to be a part of the Black Panther Party, how would they be able to join and be a part of it?
Yes, so we have a general. His name is General Aziz, and typically he would communicate with that person. We have business cards that we give them, so it has the link to the application. All you would need to do is apply on the website or with that link, upload a picture of your ID because they like to match the ID with the application. Then they sort it out by city because this is a nationwide organization.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
just a Fort Wayne chapter. It actually goes to our headquarters in Virginia, and they sort everything out by city, send it back to us, and then we're able to contact that person and get them started.
Well, maybe we can even have the gentleman come in, with you one day and talk a little bit about that.
Well, Jill, before you move forward, I want to commend the original Black Panther Party of Fort Wayne, Indiana. But as you said, Jill, I think not people really understand what the Black Panther Party is and who they are. I think historically they have been misrepresented
Yeah.
because of, they want to label them a militant group, and that's not what they are. They are a community-based organization. There's some programs that the government has taken over in which the Black Panther Party has started. WIC is one of them. WIC is a program that's right now used throughout the United States all day, every day. WIC was started by the Black Panther Party. The free lunch for schools and free breakfasts for schools that is used today was started by the Black Panther Party. So these are reasons that we should support them. But I also say, don't listen to what people told you about them.
Yeah.
Go study for yourself, learn about them. If you want to be with them, join them. But I want to commend all of you for all that you're doing right now.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And I do say, when doing your research into it further, just make sure that you're doing research into the original Black Panther Party specifically. There's a lot of copies. There's a lot of groups that do similar things, but sometimes they represent different morals or different ways of behaving, and we don't condone any just nonchalant violence and things like that. So we want to make sure that you're doing your research and focusing on the exact right.
Yeah, thank you for that. So statistically speaking,
Say that again.
Statistically speaking,
3 times.
statistically speaking, mental health does not get worse during the holidays. So I'm going to beg to differ because I don't know how they measure that or who picks up the phone and says, you know what, add me to the list because my mental health is awful this Thanksgiving. So I think that's hard to measure. And we were talking last night in our meeting, our production meeting, that the holidays are hard.
Yes.
Whether you've just lost someone, whether the matriarch is gone and you're trying to replace that feeling, which is impossible to do. Whether you've lost a loved one, you have an illness, you're dealing with cancer, finances, job loss, like all of that exists in September. If it still exists in November and December, is heavy.
Right.
If we can all agree with that.
Yes.
With that being said, mental health is something that we continue to address all year. There was an event, I believe, at the beginning, November 12th-ish, by Tunnel Vision, Richard Phillips, and we've had him on here before. It was called You Are Not
Alone.
Yes, You Are Not Alone.
Richard Phillips and Sheila Curry Campbell.
Perfect. So the reason I bring that up and with mental health is something that Bri said as a guest speaker at the event, which we're going to talk to her about several times, is, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And that doesn't just mean at home. It means when you look at someone. If I look at Bri and I don't know her on the street, I'm not going to look at her and associate her with the story that I saw in her speech. I'm just not going to. She is not going to look at me and associate me with the things that I shared with her. Because as women, it's just as hard as a woman. Because women who are pretty don't get depressed. Women who are in high positions don't have anxiety. Women who are great mothers, they don't have, PTSD. So we are judgmental as women.
That's true.
Watching you, listening to your story, I didn't know her from anybody a few months ago. Listening to your story and having some similar things in common, I'm looking at it going, you know what? That's me. Like, that is me. And to talk about things and to have somebody relate to you, I don't care if you were black, white, whatever. I related to you as a person with your soul because you shared it. So let's talk a little bit about what you shared on November 12th and what your part in the event was.
Sure. So Richard reached out to me and just asked that I speak about mental health. There wasn't really a guideline. I knew that probably some people would speak on the statistics.
See?
Now that you're like messing with her. I've never had a problem saying that word until.
In my defense, it was statistically. There was a Lee.
Anyway, I knew someone was going to go over the numbers.
Right. Okay.
Wait, we can do the numbers.
The stats. Yeah.
Of all things mental health and how it affects different minorities, how it affects people of color, on all the different factors that go into trauma and what that looks like for people. But because I knew someone would cover that, I decided to go a more personal route and just share my personal story of the things that I went through. And I won't, go into the whole thing, but basically I spoke about my childhood trauma of dealing with a childhood filled with episodic physical abuse that stemmed from military-induced PTSD and his childhood trauma. And because of that, he was in the Navy and dealing with a lot, and then also he had trauma as a child with different things, and because of that, it just built in a bunch of anger and rage and caused him to have blind rage episodic abusive moments, and that would lead to a lot of abuse within my childhood physically, and me just having to kind of suppress it, stuff it down, protect my siblings, and be kind of that front person that took it all. And I didn't know, at the time that I was going to be able to come out of that, especially because, like I said, what's done in this house stays in this house. Yes. I kind of spoke about that slogan, and I feel like that was what our house lived by.
Yeah.
Everything, what's done here, you do not go speak about it in the street.
Right.
And so that was something that was kind of set in stone with us from early on, so we already knew the deal. And then when it came to, being out in public looking like this perfect family, knowing that behind closed doors, like, I'm fighting for my life, it was really hard to have to kind of digest that every day. And then you have people coming up to you and telling you about this person and praising this person. And you're just like, you don't even know them.
Right.
And so as a child, I really struggled with that. I suppressed it, took it into my teen years. And because of that, I dealt with just trying to find love in relationships, and in high school, trying to find this love, trying to find this acceptance, trying to find this protection, wanting someone to keep me safe because I couldn't keep myself protected.
Looking for it anywhere.
And so I ended up getting pregnant my senior year of high school because I fell in love with someone who also had the same abusive childhood trauma that I had, and then that just created more childhood trauma, or more trauma, because neither of us had dealt with our trauma.
Addressed it,
And then we put it together, created a child, and now we're living together, and it's all just coming up to the forefront.
Yeah, right.
You're subjecting now another individual or
and the
child
cycle
to the
just
same
exactly.
cycle, yes.
So I had to fight to get out of that situation. It was very emotionally abusive, manipulative, brainwashing. I kept getting, he was either in the house or he was gone. He was going in and out of our lives. And then at one point he was gone for several months and no contact at all while I had a newborn baby. So just trying to navigate it. And then something finally came to a head when I just had nowhere else to go. I was dealing with suicidal thoughts. I was dealing with pain, depression. And I was crying myself to sleep basically every night, just hoping, that something would give, why I was given the short end of the stick, like, when is it going to be better? And that's when I decided that I was just going to make it better.
Yeah,
and
right.
I enrolled myself in parenting classes with the Hope Center. I started going to counseling. I started going to Celebrate Recovery. I did a self-inventory step study from my childhood all the way to present time to work at the root cause of all of my trauma. And it was life-changing for me. I went to the Landing, which is a youth-based version of Celebrate Recovery, went through that program, graduated the program, became a small group leader, and started pouring into the girls that I needed when I was a child. And that was when it came full circle, and I was able to not only heal myself, but become a better mom to my son and help him see that healing and reconcile with my father, who was the person that was abusing me as a child. And he went through Celebrate Recovery, dealt with his childhood trauma, became a completely different person, became a pastor, and kept his promise to never put his hands on me again, never did. His anger, his temperament, so completely different. You would never expect that he would be the person that he was before. And that's what showed me that anyone truly can change.
Anyone.
Right.
Anyone. Amen. Something that you said that struck me. Well, a lot of things, but the biggest thing is you said I kept waiting and praying for it to get better, And I think when we do that, when we are suffering like that, if it was going to just get better, it would have already. So finally you said, I made it better.
Right.
I wanted better, I made it better, and I fixed it. And not only did you fix it, but you helped someone else fix theirs, and someone else fix theirs, and someone else fix theirs. And that's why I wanted to speak with you tonight, because that is very important. Like that is huge. Yeah. So I know that you did very well with your speech. I watched it. So I do want to thank you for that, and for also sharing your story.
I just want to listening to you, and one of the things is, and I think it happens to us a lot of times, that we want to deal with the problem at hand. We want to deal with the issues that are plaguing us at that moment. Yeah. We want to deal with the things that are going on at that time. You said that you figured that out, but then you had to go back and figure out what the root situation was. A lot of us don't. And that's where we get into these cycles, because we're battling we're putting out the small fires and not trying to get to,
the big one, the main one.
The main one, put things out.
And figuring out the process of how it
treating the symptoms and not the illness.
So for you, and as you stated, at some point we all have to, as we use it in our community, we had that come to Jesus moment. And you have to come to the realization that something has to change. And you make the decision, either you walk or you waddle. And a lot of people, they don't have the legs to walk, and they waddle for a long time. But I commend you that you are able to get up and walk and figure that out, because, your story is not an uncommon story, unfortunately. There's some young person, male or female, that's going through that right now that needed to hear that. But for you to say you have to still go back, that's what they really needed to hear. Don't just treat the symptoms. Treat the cause.
Thank you. Yeah, and I would recommend anyone that is going back and dealing with their stuff from the very beginning, it's going to be the most beneficial part of your healing journey. But also, when you're doing that, I would really say to...
it's ugly. You can say it. It gets ugly.
It gets really painful.
Yeah.
It's like stripping yourself down to nothing. So it gets really painful. But I also recommend that if you have been in an abusive situation, and this doesn't go for every situation. Every situation is different. But what really helped me deal with my stuff at the beginning and heal that was also speaking to my dad about his process when he went through it, and hearing his actual trauma. When I heard his why he was reacting towards me, I was able to understand him much more, and I was able to take away the abuse from him. Like, I was able to separate the two.
Right.
I now realize that what he was going through was mental illness. It was a disruption in his mental health, an imbalance in his mental health. I was able to see that and then remove that from him, so I can just see my dad for who he is, not have that hanging, have that attached to him, so that I could love him again.
And you can forgive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Forgive, love, and restore the relationship.
Absolutely. I love that. Before we head out, we posed a question today, this evening, and said, what is something that you do at your Thanksgiving, your family Thanksgiving, that you're pretty sure no one else does at theirs? So this person says, this is Gabe, or actually Angela said, get along. So that's it. I thought that one was funny.
Get along.
I believe that.
Yeah, so that was good.
Sometimes that's the best one.
Right? Great answer. So Gabe Martin says, I'm sure others do it. I just don't know them. But every person at our Thanksgiving dinner writes a food theme down on a slip of paper. The slips are put in a bowl. Someone draws out the winning theme for our Christmas dinner. So we've had breakfast, Mexican, soups, dishes for movies, etc. over the years. I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that.
Never heard of that.
That's actually a great idea.
Creative.
Idea,
I love it. But yeah, so that, Gabe, you won the internet, because I've never heard of anything like that.
Yeah, put that one in the back in Bandula album.
Seriously. Mildred said we used to take turns expressing what we are thankful for. Like that.
I think we still do that.
I said, and then I want to hear yours. So we took the wishbone out of apparently there's a bone in the turkey that looks
You've
like.
never heard of the wishbone?
Well, I remember it faintly from when I was younger that we would take this bone out,
Remember who you
and two
talked to.
people would pull on it.
Right, and make a wish.
So whoever, yeah, but I couldn't remember what the person won. But I think you just won your wish, right? So if that's the case, I won a lot of times. I don't think any of my wishes came true. Seriously. So that's what we did. So I don't know if that's normal or not. Do you guys have anything that you want to add that is kind of different that you do at yours?
Well, I was telling last night, I was.
No,
I'm not gonna tell a story. I'm not gonna tell a
Okay.
story. I'm
Okay.
gonna tell how we got to the story. But ours, and I'm sure a lot of families do it, but we just do it differently. Like I tell people, we get together, we play cards, we eat, we have a good time, we do that. But the one thing I said is, we lie. We do. We embellish. We tell these stories that have a good core of the truth, but.
You embellish. You embellish. Yeah.
Only on Thanksgiving?
No,
Right?
family gatherings, because that's how you just get to know yourselves, and you bring up memories, and you just make people feel it's fun. You know?
Yeah, I agree. E, you have anything different that you guys do at your Thanksgiving?
No, we eat.
That's okay.
We eat and play cards.
We eat.
We normal. We a normal family. We
Normal?
eat. Yeah.
You don't think it's normal to pull the wishbone out of the turkey and pull on it?
I want to hear your definition of normal first.
No, we don't.
Everybody
no,
has. Hold on. Let me explain. Let me break this
heavens.
down. Everybody has their own normal.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? So, what might be normal in my household might not be normal in your household, but to us, we normal.
It's normal. I feel you. Miss Brick, what do you do?
Well, that's what I was trying to look up, the name of the game. But usually we just say what we're thankful for, talk about different memories, just have some good family time. We might watch something. That's what we do with my family. And then when I'm with my boyfriend's family, they, same thing, eating, talking about memories, and then cards, games. There's this other game, that's what I was trying to look up the name of it. You typically do it with quarters, but they got greedy and started utilizing dollars. And so you put them, you have a card, or sorry, you have die.
Left, right, center.
Left, right, center.
Oh, we were just talking about that last night.
Yeah,
That's not being greedy, putting dollars on the table for left, right, center.
Okay, well, it was quarters, so.
No. It's called inflation. It's called inflation.
So what's
That's all it is.
pennies according to dollars?
Yeah.
Inflation.
Okay.
All right. Well, did you pull a wishbone out of a turkey?
Yeah,
You have.
but I think I only did it like once.
Yeah.
I think that was my grandma's Thanksgiving, though.
I
It
think
wasn't
it
like
was
my
all-
household
yeah.
family. It was like my grandma's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Pull a wishbone out and make it.
I didn't pull it out. I'm not getting in that turkey.
You eat it, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't get. My mom
I'm
puts
just saying.
stuff in it.
Okay, you eat it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do you cook for Thanksgiving, Jim?
Clarence just
How about you, Miss
I
Brick?
am. I do actually. I wouldn't really call it cooking. I make like a homemade pasta salad. I make cheesy potatoes that everybody likes, and I make a couple cheese balls. But my mom knows just not the other stuff. So, but I eat a lot.
she's not allowed.
I cook side items and
See?
I bring them, but I've been pescatarian for 6 years, so I don't eat
Awesome
turkey. I'm
job.
not making the turkey.
I got you.
There you go.
I love fish too. I can eat fish, seafood all day, every day.
Me too. Me too. All right. Well, we will be
You
here.
got one behind you.
Oh,
I'm here.
look, we have somebody snuck in.
I snuck in. I crawled. I just wanted to make an announcement on part of our Neutral Voices. Our Neutral Voices and Brightpoint, once again, we're partnering up for this winter. Brightpoint providing heating help for the winter. And I know we've talked about how we've been struggling financially, and this is a great opportunity. Please call or go to their website. It's www.mybrightpoint.org. Again, it's heating help for winter, November 27th between 9 and 4 at Head Start. That's 2107 street. So if you need help and you need to sign up, this is an awesome opportunity. Our Neutral Voices is partnering up with BrightPoint. Get help with your heat. Please do not be home cold because you cannot afford it. There's resources out
Correct.
there. Don't allow your children to go, in the cold. I know sometimes we're robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's either food or heating bills. So I understand as a single parent that I was for a long time. They have been instrumental in helping, just help a push just to get by. But they will help with your heating bills. Again, that's November 27th between 9 and 4 at Hannah and Creighton Head Start. There's a list of things that you will need, criteria for financial. So if it's one household, $24.79 monthly. You can't make more than that. And there's a list. I know we'll have it pinned up on our website as well. So please take a moment to look at that and help yourself. We're here to help you, inform you. So we want you to have a nice, warm holiday season during this winter. Because I don't know about you, but today was cold. Okay, so be aware of that and participate in ONV and BrightPoint, a brighter future.
Love it. Thank you for that. So thank you for being with us tonight. Please join us tomorrow to watch us eat. That's what we're going to be doing.
Ooh, my favorite.
We're not cooking. Let's give a shout out. We're gonna have food brought in from Elijah's restaurant and bakery. So join us as we be indulging and some of Elijah's good food. He's been here before, so we're gonna support him and we're gonna get food from him tomorrow night.
Absolutely. So join us. And before we go, we want to thank Miss Bri for being here and sharing her story.
Yes.
I'm sure we will talk to you again soon.
Yes, if I can just say, just to go off of what you were already saying about the heat, Allen County Young Dems and Black Panthers have been restocking the Ford, Indiana community pantry lockers throughout downtown. So if you yourself or someone who is in need, please feel free to start going to those lockers. We restocked a couple tonight, and we're going to be continuing to restock as we continue to receive more donations. So we have an ActBlue link on our Facebook link for Allen County Young Dems where people can donate, or you can bring different canned items, preferably canned meat, the already prepackaged milk, cereal, things like that people can use, especially during the holidays, and different side items. That's what we've been stocking them up. The locker that we did tonight was the community pantry locker right next to Bomb Efo Shop today on Fairfield. So that's completely stocked up right now that you can pull from. It was so sweet that a young teenage girl in pajamas came into the restaurant. I went inside the restaurant right after we stocked it just to get a drink, and she came in and she asked for money, and I said, I don't have any cash, I'm so sorry. And she was like, I haven't eaten today, I just don't know what to do. And I was like, oh. And I took her outside and I was like, we just stocked, literally just stocked this pantry locker. And she was like, where is it? And I said, it's right here. And I opened it and she was like, oh my gosh, wow, thank you guys so much. We put grocery bags at the bottom so people can just
grab it and load it.
That's good.
Yep, absolutely love it. Love it. So we always leave you with these words.
Always protect your mind.